week's episode of One Piece, the Straw Hat Pirates continue their journey to Whole Cake Island to save Sanji Vinsmoke. And because everyone's favorite cook is absent, it's up to Luffy to prepare the food for the crew. And he does a pretty bad job of that. Luckily, Carrot is around to liven up everything with her constantly chewing on stuff. It appears that Jack the Drought has actually survived his encounter with Zunisha the Giant Elephant, and Kaido gets incredibly shit-faced. This week's episode of One Piece was remarkable in the sense that not that much happened, but what did happen was very important. Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates reacting to the fact that the revolutionaries were completely eradicated by Blackbeard and his pirates. That and the fact that Luffy reacting to seeing his father is honestly pretty strange. I was really hoping that we would sort of get into that a little bit, but no, he's still sort of sweeping most of that under the rug, and it's pretty clear that even the creator of the series doesn't quite know what he wants to do with this quite yet, and he's just waiting for that ultimate moment, which I'm guessing is going to come more towards the very end of the series. That being said, I'm still loving every scene that involves Carrot. She is such a freaking fun and super adorable character. The fact that she can't control herself from constantly biting things just makes her scenes all the more funny. Even little subtle moments, like when Pedro decides to pull her away and she has her paws up like a rabbit, or when she playfully starts to chew on his arm. Little moments like this add a lot of cute characterization to her, and frankly, I hope she sticks around. Especially seeing her react along with Chopper and Brook, she really does feel like the next Straw Hat Pirate. And of course, there are plenty of other troubles for the Straw Hat Pirates as well. A massive storm is coming into town. Luffy is cooking and he has no idea what he is doing, literally just chopping up things and throwing them into a massive pot, which somehow transforms into a giant vat of purple goo and literally just looks like pure death. He's basically going to poison the entire crew with his cooking. That and the fact that he wasted all of their provisions, which was definitely not a very smart move on his part, but then again, we have to remember, he is not the cook of the crew. The next chunk of the episode is basically spent with watching Kaido just get increasingly drunk, which actually does have a lot of humor to it, and something that I really appreciated. That and the fact that the bottle of sake that he was drinking from just seemed endless. I mean, he was chugging this thing for like over 5 minutes and still never found an end to the bottom of that bottle, and I thought that was really funny. That and the fact that he goes through these mood swings when he's drunk, at first being very upset over the fact that he's not going to be able to create an army of devil fruit users, and then getting super pissed off when he actually sees the wanted posters of both Luffy and Trafalgar Law, going as far as to having 2 of his minions actually hold those up to their faces so that he could smack them out of his freaking hideout and send them flying in the air and skidding across the ocean. It shows that he's going to have a lot of crazy mood swings, and he's a character that's going to be influenced a little bit more by instinct, which I think goes along a lot with his beastly nature. However, he knows when to be an intimidating leader, like the fact that Eustace Kid is still locked up in this prison, and he has just got the crap beat out of him. And I'm really interested to see how all of this went down, like how this battle actually took place, why some of the other pirates decided to go along with Kaido, and why Kid was the one who was actually defeated. I'm guessing it's his pride that actually ended up getting the best of him. The episode ends with the Straw Hat Pirates lamenting the fact that they're eating Luffy's food as we get ready for another grand adventure. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of One Piece? This one was okay. Not that much happened, but there were a lot of little scenes that I really enjoyed. Mostly the scenes with Carrot, a lot of that having to do with the fact that I'm just very much enamored with her character. I love the fact that she also managed to trick that one monkey back on Zoe just with bananas. I mean, were there not enough bananas on the island already? I also did appreciate the scenes with Kaido, and I also really love the fact that apparently Jack the Drought is not dead. We actually go back to the scene where all of the ships were destroyed, and he's just hanging out at the bottom of the ocean. And since he has those sharp teeth, we can just assume at this point that he's a fish man. But he's also a devil fruit user, so he can survive underwater, he can at least breathe underwater, but he's still going to be completely immobile, and he's basically just waiting for someone to pick him up from soccer practice. What I think is most interesting about this episode, though, for me personally, is that the next episode is going to be the beginning of a brand new filler arc, which I honestly am kind of excited for. It looks like Luffy and all the people that are with him on the Thousand Sunny are going to be going undercover into some sort of marine base, and they even have some brand new costumes that they're going to wear. Carrot in a marine uniform? super freaking adorable. I also love the fact that Luffy looks like he's gonna have like some sort of mohawk cut in this arc. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with this one. I'm really not opposed to One Piece filler, especially because unlike a lot of other series, Naruto, I'm looking at you, the filler don't tend to last as long in the One Piece anime series, usually only a couple of episodes, and sometimes they can be really exciting with good stories and animation, so let's just hope for the best, and honestly, if they were ever going to insert a filler arc, this is definitely the place they could do it. Not to mention, we get to spend more time with Carrot, which is always a good thing. So, this was a great episode of One Piece right here. Not a perfect episode, mind you, but it did have some important scenes and a lot of little funny moments, getting to spend more time with Carrot, who I continue to just absolutely love. I'm going to give this episode a 3 out of 5. Just a fun, average episode of One Piece that, if you're a fan of the series, definitely check it out. So, that's my thoughts on this week's episode. Make sure to tell me what you guys thought about it in the comment section below. I will see you guys next time. And as always, stay dandy, baby!